Everyone, welcome to another series of Hearthstone videos. But this time, I'm not actually going to be talking or playing the game. Not yet, anyway. What I actually want to talk about is the fact that, well, next week, that should be moved a bit. There we go. Thanks, Polygon. Next week, Knights of the Frozen Throne finally launches. Pretty well expected based on the Frost Festival and when we've learned about all that information. But today I actually wanted to talk about the top 15 cards that I'm excited for in this new expansion. That's better. You don't need to see the shoddy, cheap installation job I've done. Anyway, so I wanted to actually talk about the cards that I'm the most excited to play. I don't think they're going to be in any way meta defining. I don't think that they are the best cards in the set, per se. And we're still missing about 30 cards, but for the 80 plus cards that have been shown off, these are the cards that I am most excited. Like, I'm really excited. I want to get these cards. I'm going to be opening probably about 140 card packs on release day, and there's going to be server problems, and it's going to be rough going the first day because that's always the way it is when an expansion comes out. That's the way it was with Un'Goro, and I think it's going to be the same for this, if not worse. So I'm ready for it, and I'm really excited. I am really excited. When I started playing Hearthstone back in the very early days, when Hearthstone first came out, and well, about a 5 months after it came out, and started playing it for a while, and I didn't like it. I hated it. I really did not enjoy the game at all. And it wasn't until Un'Goro and Quests that I really got interested in playing the game again. So I decided to pick it up and start playing, and before Un'Goro came out, and I tried to get as much gold. I tried to get gold in Ragnaros, gold in Sylvanas, so that I could get the dust and get into playing the game. And now I have a pretty good collection of the actual game itself. I don't have a lot of the rotated out sets, but the sets of cards that I do have, I feel pretty good about it. Like, I feel like I can compete. And yes, I have thrown money at this game. That's just the way it is. So, yeah, a little bit of Japanese there. I live in Japan. It happens. Anyway, so I've been enjoying playing some like Taunt Warrior, Ramp Druid, Control Paladin, Evolve Shaman. That was like a Dragon Priest slash Elise with hopefully trying to get a lot of card packs. That was the idea behind that. It was okay. I do not enjoy playing Hunter, but I get too many quests about Hunter to not do it. I'm very much looking forward to, I'm already thinking about decks that I want to make, which is like a Quest, Kazakus, Dragon Priest, Dragon Shadow Priest, as it will. So, like, I'm very excited about this. No, I don't want to finish it now. I want to make a Freeze Shaman. I want to make an Elemental Death Knight. I want to make a Freeze, maybe like kind of a Freeze beat you down mage. We'll see. Maybe a Control mage. We'll see. But for now, that's all very exciting, and I've really, really enjoyed playing through Un'Goro, even with some of the things that made Un'Goro frustrating, like Quest Mage, which was just the worst thing to play against. So anyway, This what follows is a list of, let me check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, well, 15 plus one bonus one. Let's do that. All right, so here we go. So coming in at 16, because I actually do like this card a lot, is the Ghastly Conjurer. Now, I think that this is a pretty cool card for a lot of reasons, because I'm really interested in Quest Mage, and this is a guaranteed cheap spell for Quest Mage. And what's more is that it's a taunt. It gives you like 2 mirror images, which slow down your opponents, which I think is really important when you're doing Quest Mage, because you're trying to buy time till you can set up that big turn. I really like the Quest Mage for a lot of reasons. I think it's a fun idea to take an extra turn. The only other card games I've really played in my life were Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, the trading card game. I never played Magic. So the idea of taking an extra turn is really, really, really cool. And it's really, really powerful. But in Un'Goro, Quest Mage was certainly like a thing at times. Like I came up against some Quest Mages, but was never that big a thing. Like, there isn't a really, really good Quest Mage, and while I do enjoy playing some meta decks, especially if they go hand in hand with what I like to play, like Elementals, I really, there isn't enough focus on Quest Mage, and I think there's room to try and experiment and have fun with it. So I think this card is really good for Quest Mage because it gives you a cheap spell, gives you a body on the board, it gives you some taunts out of it, so it slows down your opponents. And for 4 mana, 6 health, 2 attack, it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not the greatest, but it's not terrible. I like it. So now, number 15, Light's Sorrow. I think that this card could be a lot of fun. And the main reason I think it could be a lot of fun is because recently I was watching a streamer I like, Day9 TV, and he was playing a really, really cool Divine Shield Paladin. And it worked pretty good. And I think if that deck if you can get a good version of it, because Paladin is fairly strong, and I'm not saying like super value off this card, because, you know, acidic, like there are plenty of minions that can just destroy your weapon. So I don't think it's the biggest value that I want to get off this, but I think this is fun to play around with this idea of, you know, spending Divine Shield, and getting rewarded for it. I don't think this will I don't think anything will ever replace True Silver Champion. And Vine Cleaver actually ended up being a fairly good weapon in the last set. So I think that this could have a place in the new set. And we could see a kind of more Divine Shield focused Paladin coming into the future, especially with some of the cards that, you know, I think it's Corpse Taker, where if you have Divine Shield in your deck, it gains Divine Shield. So like feeding this idea of Divine Shield itself is really good. It's good against poisonous. Like Tyrion is still one of the best legendaries to me, and it's one of the first legendaries I got. So I really like this card. I think I will be playing it one way or another. I think the artwork's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, weapons and Paladin. Number 14 is Treachery. Now, I know a lot of people are like, Warlock, it's not really good. You know, we haven't seen the Warlock Death Knight yet. And I think that'll be a big part of whether Warlock is going to be really good or really bad. Or, well, continue to be kind of just really bad. Because you don't see many Warlocks. And we kind of know from a leak maybe how much mana the Death Knight will take, which is 10. And I'm wondering if it's going to be some crazy, like, N'Zoth for discarded cards or something like that. And so if Warlock gets some interesting cards, which, you know, Lifesteal is one I think that it could really use, more Lifesteal cards. Treachery is a really, really interesting card. You could use it with Ticking Abomination, which would nuke the other guy's board, maybe. But this is kind of just an interesting card. Like, I think the most obvious combo that comes to mind is just Doomsayer, Treachery, your opponent can't do anything. It's just going to wipe his board out before he gets to do anything. And, like, with some of the cards that I've been seeing get revealed, a lot of them could play on a really big egg druid, like different eggs, where you can throw down an egg, throw down a Doomsayer, play Treachery, and then, you know, he has no board, but you at least have something on your board. Like, I think this is an interesting card that kind of requires some strategy to use, and those are the cards that I'm more interested in. Like, I do not like Pirate Warrior at all, because the deck has essentially one thing. You hit in the face, you hit in the face, you hit in the face. Same with Jade Druid. There really isn't much strategy to it. It's the same thing every time, but maybe there'll be some really interesting plays with Treachery, and I think that's really cool. So the next one, a legendary, and I think this card is going to be really cool. I really do. For me, I don't much like the art of Rotface, but Rotface has something really, really cool to him, and that is his ability. Oop, let me just... Don't die, Hearthstone. I need your music, background music. I think that this is a really cool card, given the amount of whirlwind effects that we're seeing. I mean, you already have Whirlwind, Ravaging Ghoul. You have Wild Pyromancer. You have lots of cards that could, and the new weapon. There are a lot of things that can combo with this. And while it is summon a random legendary, and it can be any legendary, you are getting legendaries off this card, and you're getting them pretty easily. And I think this is really cool because the whirlwind effects also kind of work with cards like King Mosh. So if you're building your deck around this idea of whirlwind and enrage, and the other thing about this that I really like, and I actually think is better than another legendary in this set, is that it just summons a random. Like, it's a summon. It doesn't put it in your hand. It just brings it right to the board. So it's putting bodies on the board faster. And so I think Rotface could be really interesting. Again, it's RNG, which I know a lot of people don't like. But I think this could be a really fun card to put in a different type of warrior deck. And I like that. I like the idea that we're kind of moving, you know, it's a little bit different from Pirate Warrior, because I can't see this card working at all in Pirate Warrior, unless Pirate Warrior is going to become later game focused, which that's not the point of it. So I really like Rotface. I think he could be a really fun legendary to play, in the same way that I liked playing Taunt Warrior. back when it first came out, like the first day I was playing Taunt Warrior, and I was like, this is cool with the quest. I really like this.